I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com. Hi, I'm Laura.
And this is Debbie.
And this is
I Got the Hell Out. And I am speaking first today because this is...
I don't like the look in your eyes.
Tomorrow is Mother's Day.
I'm really worried.
This is dropping on Mother's Day.
Okay.
I got this idea last night.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I am issuing a challenge to you.
To me?
And me, because whoever loses is going to detail the other person's vehicle.
Okay, I am really, really scared.
The first person to swear loses.
Oh. God, you almost did it. I almost did it.
I thought when I was talking to you on the phone earlier, I figured the first words out of your mouth would be WTF.
No, I almost said the S word.
Yep. So, to Pat and Nancy, I thought of this last night and thought it would be a fun experiment.
What a great Mother's Day gift for them.
Yes, one with little to no swearing, and one of us will walk away with a detailed car, or both of us will be losers. And we'll be forced to do our own cars.
Which just means...
Mine
our cars will look the same.
Dirty.
Oh, this is going to be so difficult.
Yeah,
this is going to be so difficult.
It starts now, so bring up all your really good cuss words.
There are no... I really have to watch what I'm saying. Like, I literally have to... Think.
Yes.
Like, I can't just ramble.
So, yeah, I went to buy my mother a card, and it was $6.95.
They are so expensive nowadays.
Well, that's what spawned this idea was that I'm not spending
there were
$7
there were
for
no
a card.
Cards with cuss words in them?
Well, I could put them in there, but no, I figured what would be a really good gift for our mother since they both don't like us cussing.
That is beautiful.
Yes. And since this is coming out on Mother's Day, I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And you can be a mother in more ways than one.
You can, absolutely. You don't have to be it could be like an adopted mom, like someone that treats you like their child.
You're correct, but I was talking in a different way.
Oh! See, I am trying to get my mind out of the gutter 100%, so I do not swear.
Well, see,
I guarantee I'll be the first one. I guarantee.
I don't know. Well, see, I've had all since last night to think about this and what I can say instead of words, so I kind of have an advantage.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, right. Well, you had an announcement about the upcoming storm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're trying to do this kind of quickly because there's a major storm coming in. And
we can't do it any quicker than an hour.
It's going
to be an hour.
I know that, but no, the prep for it, we were rushing around.
All the prep was already done, so we're
by
good.
the time you got here.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, guys, I apologize for the last episode. When I was editing it, I just kept hearing this like weird noise and I did not know what it was.
That's all right. I just kept banging my clipboard against it and it's going clink, clink, clink,
No,
clink.
what it was me flipping through that book,
yeah,
reading.
Well, I was just clinking on the clipboard. I was doing the nervous clink, clink.
See, I didn't even notice that. I just noticed the noise of the flipping pages. So guys, that is so irritating. I am sorry. So what I did for this time is I took screenshots of it. So now all I have to do is kind of just flip through the iPad.
Flippy.
Yeah, so there will be no sound. So I apologize for that because that was extremely annoying.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead to the Kool-Aid because that's what I'm drinking right now because it's.
What was the original name? What was the original name, Debbie?
The original name of this is Bless Your Heart, and if you're from down south, you know what the alternative means.
So that's not a nice phrase.
It's not a nice
It's a
phrase.
sarcastic.
It contains swear words that you almost baited me into saying. Thank
See?
you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I am drinking the second version. The first version is you're going to post the pictures of us
I already got the pictures.
drinking it.
I already got them.
You start with either regular lemonade or pink lemonade. We went for the pink lemonade. You're supposed to put about half Sprite and half water. And
If you want it fizzy. Depends if you want it
Fizzy.
fizzy or not.
Okay. And vodka of your choice, whether it's flavored or not. Vodka's the old go-to. But
Right.
since this is Mother's Day, we put it in fancy glasses. And
Fancy schmancy glasses.
yes, and we put sprigs of flowers in it.
They are lilacs
I'm
from
not
my
sure
yard.
what they
No, they're
are.
lilacs from my yard.
Okay, now the second version of this drink is what I'm drinking because A, I forgot to bring the Sprite, and B, I forgot to bring the sugar. So, you make this drink with no sugar, and it's pretty tart and kind of nasty.
And that I notice you have your beer right next to it.
Yeah, because I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to drink because it's not blessing my heart. It's giving me the other, yeah.
And can I just mention, this room is so hot.
Oh, gosh, I'm good.
Oh, my gosh. This is the only room in my house that does not have vents. My house is over 100 years old, and for some reason...
You have a window.
Yeah, that's not
Why
helping.
isn't it open?
Because of the outside noise.
I don't hear any noise.
We will.
Oh. Because the window's shut.
Got a genius here, folks.
All right.
All right, so what do we have for culty corrections? What do you got?
Somebody, another ex-member reminded me that they have been eating activated charcoal pills since forever. They've been filling them.
For what?
For when the bombs hit and the radiation comes, you'll already have the activated charcoal in your bloodstream and in your system.
No, you won't.
Well, if you eat them daily, you will.
If you eat them daily, but I hate to tell you, if a bomb drops, one capsule of activated charcoal...
I don't
ain't
know what
gonna
the
do a
regimen
thing.
is because I didn't eat the activated charcoal. That started way back when I was still there.
Okay.
And somebody told me it was the cochineal bug that they do crush up to use the red stuff.
Okay.
I talked to my friend Nuke, who I mentioned in a past episode that we weren't allowed to listen to worldly music anymore.
Okay.
And his tape was the only one I could stomach, and he was like rapping to Jesus on his own freestyle stuff.
Okay.
But I had the opportunity, we talk a couple times a year, I consider him a brother, and he's going to be our next guest when we have the absolute technology in order to have a guest that's in a different state.
I can't wait to do
He
that.
went full steam when he joined. He was living in one of those trailers behind the press room.
Okay.
He worked for $40 a week in the press room. And he heard all of the comings and goings because he's behind the scenes. And people, he spent 4 years there. So
Okay.
after a while, he'd hear the elders talking and saying things that most of us weren't privy to. And
that they knew it was all a bunch of crap.
I'm not sure. But Nuke said he was going to save it for when he's a guest.
I cannot wait. Oh, we need to get this up to next level.
Well, you have to figure out how we can have somebody from a different state. We did an interview on somebody else's podcast, Can We Cult? And between the four of us, we managed to do a 4-way call on a telephone that sounded like absolute crap.
Yeah, we can't do that. But, when we did the interview with Justin, we did that over the phone. We did it through...
No. With Justin, we figured out how to do
But that's what I'm saying.
Skype without having
Oh,
a
your friend
picture
doesn't
on it.
have Skype.
I don't know if he does or not. I would have to ask him.
Well,
And
like we would know how to do that either.
we'll figure it out. There's always Google. I used to listen to our program on Stitcher, and I actually switched to Castbox because Stitcher wasn't working for me.
Well, you know what?
And I thought maybe it was my phone.
No, I got an email today saying that there was a problem. I don't know if the problem was with just Stitcher and SoundCloud, or one of the two. But I got an email this morning that said that SoundCloud fixed the problem on their end, and they're waiting for Stitcher to fix it. So if you guys have been having problems with it, I guess in a couple weeks they should be back up and running.
Well, I use Castbox, and I've used Castbox since I got frustrated a week or two ago because I couldn't listen to us. Because you have the privilege of listening to the entire thing. I have to wait till it comes out like the rest of the common audience.
I understand, but do you know how tired I am by the time I'm done editing, which editing is a loose term, editing. But I don't listen to it because I'm tired of it.
I would like to listen to it before I have to wait for it.
Wah.
I would, would also like to announce, you sent me a text this morning that we have hit over 12,000 downloads.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot believe it.
And I ticked off on Facebook last week that we're in 13 different countries, and I named them. And Tiffany is in Guam, and we had
Hey, Tiffany.
Hi. We had the most awesome conversation on Facebook, and she sent me pictures of like on the beach, the sunset.
I saw that.
I was so jealous. And then I don't know if it's Maya or Maya, because we had a Shamaya, and she went by Maya.
Gotcha.
But she spelled it Maya. So you have a culty name, sweetheart. You would fit right in.
Oh, I'm sure she's thrilled.
But she's in the Netherlands. And
I saw that picture too.
yes, and she showed
another
me
really cool picture.
Beautiful picture of the city that she's in. I have visited Amsterdam, but she said she's closer to Rotterdam. Okay. So if I ever am rich and famous instead of poor and good looking, we're going to travel the world.
We sure are. And hey, the Facebook conversations are great. So anybody that doesn't matter where you're from, shoot us a picture of your city.
Or one of your favorite places, like if it's even out by backyard by your stream or something.
Right. And just let us know where you're from, and we could probably do
we could do a shout out every week.
No, I'm talking about us. We could do a picture of one of the crappy rivers that are like brown. One of our 3 rivers.
Do you know they found another body?
Yeah, I know. We have a serial killer.
I'm telling you,
here.
we have a serial killer, and nobody wants to talk about it.
No, in the group Yinza Murderino, they talk about it.
I was following that the other day. Anybody, if you're in Pittsburgh and you want to follow the serial killer, and really, I think they're only killing young men.
Yep.
Young men.
Yep, we got a serial killer, guys.
And then they throw the bodies in the river.
Yep.
They're not found anywhere else. They're found floating in the rivers.
Nope.
When Dakota James was missing, they found 2 other bodies while they were looking for him.
Right.
So how many bodies are out there floating around in our rivers?
Right. And they're all men of the same age.
Yes.
So
the early to mid 20s.
Yes.
And anything else connected, I have no idea. So.
And also another discussion on Facebook that we had are some of the things I posted about the funky foods. We've had some good discussions.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
If anybody can tell me what a limpet is, I would be appreciative.
And if you've eaten one, what does it taste like?
And when you cook it, does it become a stiffit? Come on, limpet, stiffit. I also wanted to give a shout out to Alyssa, who is also on our Facebook. And I was shocked to find out that those nasty cookie recipes.
Oh, you almost said it. I did. Almost said it.
It was on the tip of
my tongue.
I saw it. You were waiting for it to
I was
pop out.
waiting for that word to come out. This is really difficult.
I'm telling you. Okay, back to Alyssa. She told me that these cookies, if you would have, instead of putting the oils for the flaxseed and stuff, they use the actual grains.
Oh.
Add chocolate chips, and you have Mennonite breakfast cookies.
Get out.
Yeah, I was like, wow. And these things, well, maybe they would have been better with chocolate chips. But by then you couldn't have milk, so there was... Yeah, I came across a recipe. We're going to have to make this some early Saturday.
Why?
Because I saw the picture and it made my mouth water. And
I thought you meant it was a cult.
No.
Oh.
Okay. Bacon wrapped cheese fries. You can't tell me that wouldn't be awesome.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm making them and I'm going to bring them.
Bacon
wrapped cheese fries. Take like 3 or 4 French fries and put some cheese in between the fries.
Oh,
and then completely
my gosh.
wrap it in bacon so that the cheese doesn't
Put like a
ooze
little
out.
fancy toothpick in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bacon wrapped cheese fries. You can't tell me
my
that
gosh.
wouldn't be freaking awesome.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to swear.
No, freaking.
I know.
See, you thought you were going to get me.
Oh my gosh. Mom, I hope you appreciate this because this is so difficult.
And on one of the discussions that we had, they included a bat in with the birds
Yes.
that you cannot eat.
Yes. And they had it under what list, Debbie? They had it under the birds.
And as I told a couple of people on Facebook that they didn't assign the brightest people to write the children's books. I mean, if you think about it.
So they were teaching children that bats are birds.
I have no idea what they were teaching, and apparently whoever edits these things is not much brighter because it got through. The big man himself didn't bother himself to write the children's books. He would just skim through it and give his final okay and put his signature on it as if he wrote it, but he didn't. And there was one that nobody caught under the fish that you cannot eat.
Okay.
That comes from the sea.
Okay.
As far as I know, catfish is freshwater. It's not saltwater. Somebody who fishes in the ocean might be able to.
Because I think you can get, if you're down at one of our 3 rivers, I think you can catch a catfish.
You can. And
that's
it's also,
okay.
It's also rumored that there's a catfish living right by Point State Park that's as big as a VW bus. And
nice.
And if you're swimming, it could swallow you whole. Imagine a catfish as big as a VW bus.
That's so funny. Because you know what? Sometimes Sammy and I go kayaking down there.
Well, don't fall in the river.
Well,
do you guys go look for bodies?
Now I might.
That would be so cool. Maybe I'll even buy a kayak.
We
and
go.
go with
You can
guys.
rent them. You can rent them. We don't have our own kayak.
Well, why not? You're wasting money renting.
We go like once a year. But no, we go down there sometimes. But the best place is up on the Youghiogheny.
Raccoon rents them too.
Who's Raccoon?
Raccoon Creek State Park.
Oh, I go 2 places we go kayaking. But down at the point, it's really cool because it's one time we were actually watching the Pirates play baseball from the kayak.
That seems pretty cool.
It was really cool.
Pretty
it was
cool.
really, really cool. It was. So, do you got anything else?
I really don't, other than this, since this is going to be a Mother's Day episode. Well, it's not Mother's Day. We just decided to be all-inclusive with
different holidays.
Just all the holidays.
All the holidays, and basically the fact that you didn't celebrate any of them.
And you don't celebrate birthdays. You don't celebrate anniversaries. You don't celebrate anything but select things that are in the Old Testament. And let me tell you, the one I hated the most was Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement,
Is that enough for an episode?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, it's not really.
Well, then start yapping about it.
I was going to tell you about it. I'm going to take another sip of this really nasty drink. Hold on.
Oh, could you slurp any louder?
You gave me a sippy cup for crying out
Right,
loud.
because the last time you spilled your beer in here.
No, I spilled it in my pants.
Oh, you still spilled it.
But it was in my pants. It wasn't all over your floor or anything. Anyway, Day of Atonement starts at sundown. You may have nothing may pass the plane of your lips for 24 hours.
Not even water?
Nope.
Oh, so you just get dehydrated.
And
awesome.
you can't take your medication.
That's healthy.
You can't smoke any cigarettes.
Okay.
You can't have your morning coffee.
I'm really liking the fact you can't. Well, but you know what though? You said you can't take medications down there, so
Like your supplements. The things
oh,
that
you're right. The things you were allowed.
Yes.
So you could not eat your other than or whatever those cookies were called.
No, nothing.
Instead of
Nothing could pass the plane of your lips. And let me tell you, that really sucks.
That's not a swear word, is it?
Sucks is not a swear word. See, you thinking you're going to get me, but see,
it's going to be me. I can guarantee you.
Well, what I really think is going to happen is we're both really watching it because it's a Mother's Day present.
Doesn't matter.
And we're both going to get through the entire thing, and we're both going to get stuck doing our own cars.
I'm not, because sometimes swearing for me is like a sneeze. It's an automatic response.
Not only did you give me a sippy cup, it's a drippy sippy. Every time I take a drink, it's down my chin.
Oh, well, sucks to be you.
It does. Anyway, back to Day of Atonement. If you had a baby, which my second son was 4 months old during Day of Atonement, and I could not drink any water.
And you were breastfeeding?
And to this day, my boobs there's nothing left to them because he sucked me dry. And I could not have
That is so unhealthy.
I couldn't have any water to replenish it. And I never made milk again after that. He solely went to a bottle because I never filled up.
That just was really making me mad.
That's what happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And usually you get your boobs back, but mine are like they just.
I wish you guys could see her. She's like feeling up her boobs here.
Well, I can probably hold 5 pencils under each one. They just never reinflated.
I can't even hold lint under mine. I mean, I got nothing. What?
Nothing.
There's nothing going on over here.
Anyway, Day of Atonement sucked because you were still responsible for your children. So you had to get them up for services next morning.
Okay, but how could you be in charge of taking care of your kids when you can't breastfeed properly?
You'd have bottles on hand or whatnot. I'm sure some people cheated.
See, you're telling me these stories, so I'll swear. I know that's what you're doing.
No, this was all written. Look. The only thing extra I wrote to get you to swear was the Mother's Day challenge. I came across that last night. Thought this would be so fun to do. And I'm going to get my van cleaned. So.
I still need to watch. Oh,
but
my
Day
gosh.
of Atonement,
okay.
You would still have to watch and care for your children, which means feeding them, giving them breakfast.
So you have to do all of this on no energy. Basically.
Yes, and meanwhile, your husband is sleeping because
he's the guy. He's the guy.
He sleeps until the last possible minute, jumps up, gets ready for services, jumps in the car, drives to services as it's starting, okay? When we would get home, he'd immediately go to his room and go to bed until it was over. Meanwhile, I have toddlers running around.
Right.
And babies. And
now, they were allowed to eat, correct? What was the age that you had to start this whole fasting thing?
It was usually up to the parents. Some people started as early as 5 or 6.
Oh, I can imagine telling a 5-year-old that they can't drink any water.
People did it on different aspects. Like, maybe you and your daughter were there and you would give her, she could have water and apple slices that day.
Oh, okay.
So it's something, but it's not really.
It's like a little bit of a.
Right.
An inconvenience kind of.
Right.
Whatever.
And you're explaining to her why she's doing this. She's atoning for her sins while she's 5. What freaking sins did this child do at 5?
Like I hit my brother or something, or.
I
Nothing.
really
Absolutely
don't
nothing.
Know. I really
Absolutely
don't know.
Nothing.
But this is a holiday issue. And the only real things I have to say about the holidays was Christmas. Christmas was a big one. And during confessions, when they came out with confessions,
What do you mean confessions? Like how Catholics go to confession?
Right. I mentioned this in an earlier episode that when they announced that we had to start doing confessions.
What episode? Where was I? I don't remember this.
This was right before we took our hiatus. Maybe you should re-listen to some episodes.
Well, I wasn't altogether with it before the hiatus. I like that word.
Anyway, I forget what we're talking about.
Christmas. And then I got some really good stuff to read here.
Okay. I was running out of things to confess at one point. And so I had to confess that my grandmother sent me $200 for Christmas to get stuff for my kids.
Okay.
And I cashed the check, and it said Merry Christmas at the bottom of it.
Oh, no.
I accepted pagan gift, a pagan gift. And not only that, I did not tithe on that $200 that I received, okay? And so as my punishment...
So who found this out?
I confessed. I was running out of things to confess.
Okay, I gotcha. Alrighty, go ahead.
At some point I started making up confessions, but I was still confessing weird crap. My punishment was that I had to pay the first, second, and third tithe that I didn't pay to begin with on it. So that's 20, 20, 20. $60.
Oh, man. Okay.
As a punishment, somewhere they came up scripturally that...
I'm sure they did.
I had to pay another 3 tithes, first, second, and third, because I
So
withheld the first one.
120 out of the 200.
Then
What? There's a then?
Then I had to turn in the $200 as a free will offering
So you
for
got
my
zip.
sin.
So you got zip.
I actually lost $120 because I had to pay the first, second, and third tithe twice, and they got the $200.
Okay,
on
in
top
1
of
minute,
it.
I'm going to start swearing and just be done with it because...
Okay, well, the only other thing I have to say is we're not going to go into anything really in depth here about Christmas because we're going to do a whole Christmas show. Okay?
But we can. Okay.
I mean,
I know I got some stuff here. I got some stuff. They're just saying
well,
that.
let me just tell you that my children hated to go to the stores around Christmas time.
Oh, I bet.
Especially the mall when Santa's sitting there. Because
evil pagan Santa.
Well, they taught the children that Santa Claus was a pedophile. And he would come to your house and he would give you presents if you let him have sex with you. As a child, he would give you presents for it. And yeah, we got pedo Santa here, okay?
Meanwhile, the cult is filled with actual pedophiles.
Yes,
okay.
You are correct.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was, we'll talk about pedo Santa in December sometime.
All right. Okay. Well, real quickly from that kid's book, it's saying that they're talking about Christmas. It says, the truth is a false savior is being worshipped, a hidden, mysterious God. And this God actually has a name. Do you remember his name? This fake God, this false prophet, whatever.
Oh gosh, no. I
It's
tried
the
to
best
block
word.
out so much of this stuff.
It's beautiful. Nimrod.
I remember Nimrod. I also remember in
I
school
love
calling
that-
people Nimrod.
That's what I know. I love that word.
Do you remember back in the 80s people would call each other a twit?
Yeah.
That's a pregnant goldfish.
I did not know that.
And oh gosh, I'm gonna have to think about this one. I don't remember. Read something.
Okay. I will. I'm just saying right here. It's saying that today Nimrod is represented as a fat, jolly man dressed in red called Santa Claus.
If you say so.
That's what it says here. Then, going about...
Dork. That's what I was thinking of. Dork. Remember when we all used to call each other dorks?
It means penis.
It's a whale penis. It's the biggest penis.
Oh, I thought it was just a...
No, a dork is a whale penis.
I don't think it really matters what kind of penis, right?
But I just find it funny that back in 6th grade, back in the 80s, that we were all calling each other dork, which meant giant whale penis.
Right.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm
Okay.
done.
All right, couple more things about Christmas. It says, this is from the children's book. Here are some rules all people must remember. Let's see here. Never go up to greet anyone dressed to represent Santa Claus, a.k.a. Nimrod. Remember, he opposed God.
Okay.
Alrighty.
But he leaves you presents.
Number 2. Never accept any gifts given to you on behalf of Christmas.
That's why I got in trouble.
See? This one I love. Never admire the Christmas decorations or lights that you see.
Well, do you realize the Christmas tree's actually pagan? Look up.
I know.
Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10, for all our listeners who have Bibles. Read about where it specifically tells you, Jeremiah 10, 1 through 10, to not go out into the forest, do not cut down a tree, do not bring it into your house.
I do remember that somewhere in there,
Do not fasten it so that it won't topple over, and do not decorate it. Well, guess what?
Oh, jeez!
We're good. I got paper towels. See, your sippy cup sucks.
You just don't know how to drink?
Look.
Is your beer open? Please tell me that's not open.
No.
Okay.
I'm smarter than that. If I had a sippy cup that didn't leak and had
You
a top to
you
it,
don't know how to drink out of a sippy cup.
I'm 47 years old. I shouldn't be drinking out of a sippy cup.
Well, do you know why your drink was in a sippy cup? For this reason.
Okay, but it didn't do its job. It still went dribble.
But the whole drink would have spilled out.
Maybe. Okay, you're correct. I am too, and I need a sippy cup. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, can I continue? You done?
The crisis is averted. I cleaned it up. Yes, I'm good.
I'm surprised neither one of us swore.
Sweared.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so after not admiring the Christmas lights, never attend a Christmas party or any Christmas celebration, and rejoice that you are not a part of it.
Yeah, if you were to get a Christmas bonus at work or anything, you were supposed to tell them that you could not accept it because it was pagan. You could, like, if you worked in a company and everybody was getting a turkey, even though you could eat turkey,
Right.
you couldn't have it.
Well, I'm glad you said turkey because now we're going to do Thanksgiving.
Well, wait a minute. Here's a quick one for you.
What?
My mom's second husband, who she loved so much, he passed away from mesothelioma about 19 years ago.
Okay.
As I don't know if it's everywhere, but after the service and everything, and you say your goodbyes, you go and have a nice meal, right? It's called the wake, right?
Okay, right.
So we go to this wake, and my mother's and her husband's preacher said a blessing over the meal. And my ex-husband would not let my screaming 3-year-old who was starving to death eat. I was not allowed to eat.
Get out.
The baby was only 6 months old, so he had formula still. But yeah, we were getting talked about pretty bad and sideward glances, especially since there were plates of food in front of us and my oldest son is screaming, "Why won't you let me
Right.
eat?" And his dad is trying to tell him that he can't have the food because the preacher man prayed over it and it's now pagan food and he can't eat pagan food.
Oh, give me a break.
So I fed my son saltine crackers while he screamed, and I finally told my mother, I'll meet you at the house, and we left.
Perfect.
Perfectly
Nice.
good meal.
Perfect.
And
yeah.
I bet you everybody there talked about us after.
Oh, you
Not
think?
that I care.
Yeah,
but-
you think?
Well, it was his fault, not mine.
Whose fault?
My ex's fault for not letting us.
I think a lot of stuff was your ex's fault.
Well, I even said to him, don't you think that who we worship put a magical, like shield over our food? Because, we're starving, you know?
You would think.
Supposed to be all-knowing, all-doing. There's nothing that God can't do. So why didn't God put protection on our food so we weren't eating evil pagan
because
food?
that would make sense, and we don't make sense, right?
I don't know, but screw you, Kenny.
On to Thanksgiving, since you're talking about turkeys and stuff.
That's my favorite holiday right now. I really don't celebrate holidays to this day, but I do go to my sister's because she makes a wonderful, I almost said something, turkey.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I go to her house for Easter because those are the two, and I think Christmas, maybe 3 meals. But yeah, I don't have to cook. I'm in charge of Rice Krispie Squares and deviled eggs. That's what I'm in charge of. So tell us about Thanksgiving.
Well, it says, people often think of Thanksgiving as an American holiday begun by the Pilgrims who sailed across the North Atlantic in search of religious freedom. Okay. Then there's some other stuff here. Although this may seem innocent, the idea of such a day was not a new one starting with the Pilgrims. A Thanksgiving for the annual harvest is one of the oldest holidays known to mankind.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, yeah, right. Come on. And let's see. At the time, they had a harvest queen or a dressed-up doll, and it was honored and praised as the goddess of agriculture. Because now we got to bring gods and goddesses into this, because nothing can just be something.
My most hated word there, because there were a lot of words we weren't allowed to say and stuff. You weren't allowed to say cereal. Okay.
I think we went over this because god of somebody.
It was the goddess of the grains, Ceres. That's where the word cereal comes from, and they called it breakfast food. Call it Cheerios.
Call it
whatever. But yeah. Oh.
But everything, right now, instead of just Thanksgiving, they have to bring a god or a goddess into it. When just let it go. Okay. So it says the Pilgrims continued this harvest festival, though they tried to give it a different meaning. People started going to church on this day to give thanks to their gods, whom the people believed supplied the blessings.
Okay.
Let's see here. Today, after the people returned from offering up sacrifices and thanks to their God, they gather to feast on turkey. I don't know about you, but do you offer up a sacrifice on Thanksgiving?
I don't sacrifice anything. I do eat the turkey, but I'm not sacrificing it.
I'm liking how no, it says today after people return from offering up sacrifices, they gather to feast on turkey. What are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't go to church on Thanksgiving.
my
Do you? And it's
God.
always on a Thursday.
But they're saying they offer up sacrifices. No one's sacrificing anything.
You're sacrificing the turkey,
Oh,
and you're sitting
okay, I
down
guess
and
so.
praying over it. You know, everybody gives their "what I'm thankful for" speech. I love you, Mayor, but I hate doing that every year, and apparently I offend her every year because when she said we have to go around the table and say what you're thankful for, I always pop up and say I'm thankful that we don't have to do this ever again, and I always ruin it. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so then it says, most of the people in the world today believe they are following a way of life taught in the scriptures, which I don't think that's true.
No, Thanksgiving is not in the scriptures, no.
They do not even realize that the scriptures condemn them for partaking in these pagan holidays.
They're all pagan.
But it has nothing to do with scripture. It's just a holiday. It has nothing to do with or without the scriptures. It's just a holiday to be with your family or friends.
Do you know what the word holiday means?
Please tell me.
It means Halloween is All Hallows Eve.
We're getting into that next. You were reading my mind.
It's hallowed.
Right.
So hallowed means it's the most pure, it's supposed to be the best. Okay. I'm not getting the right words. That Kool-Aid kicked my butt.
See. Oh, man.
Anyway, we used to call the holidays the hollow, HOLLOW, because they're all without meaning. They are all without
how clever
substance.
Gotcha.
And when the leader would be referring to the Lord, because we didn't do Lord, he'd call him the Lard, LARD.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, because he was a filthy pig. Yes.
I got nothing.
Anyway,
nothing.
Tell me about Halloween.
Well, now we're in Halloween. Oh, this is one of my favorite one that the cult is describing. This is beautiful. Let's see here. Halloween is the modern day sacrifice of the dead. It takes place in the autumn when ancient man wept for his god to come back from the dead.
Okay.
It is also a day to remember and worship the dead saints who had no special days to themselves. It was celebrated in ancient times with human sacrifices, fortune-telling, and prayer to the gods. Pumpkins, what?
Do you know where the Yule log comes from?
From, like it's a...
They burnt their firstborn babies, whether they were goats or human children.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, I'm just telling you, when you're burning that old Yule log...
I don't burn a Yule log.
Well, a lot of people do. Oh, let's burn a Yule log. It's Christmas. Come on. But we're on Halloween.
We're on Halloween.
But I was talking about burning babies.
You had your chance of Christmas about 20 minutes ago.
Okay,
we're on Halloween.
Okay. Halloween's my favorite holiday that I celebrate. That's pretty much the only one.
Halloween's really cool.
And I celebrate the summer solstice and the winter solstice.
That's pretty cool too.
I hate one and I love one, but yeah. Yes.
I think we can actually do an episode on things like how the solstices are evil, because there's something I was reading about that. In the calendar, in the days of the week. We got a whole episode on that.
We have a Roman calendar. Do you realize there are 13 moons in a year? 13 full moons. So why are we in... It should be... Every 28 days should be a new month, because you start on the new moon and the month should end on the full moon.
Right.
And that is 300 and I think the 64, 65 days, whatever it works out to. But why are we using a 12-month Roman calendar? That depicts gods. Thursday is Thor's day.
See, we're doing a whole episode on this.
Yeah, well, I'll stop. You can talk about Halloween
No,
now.
I'm just saying we are, because there's so much that you have to say about all that.
Oh, everything that most people do every day that claim to be Christians and they're following God and stuff. But there's so much paganism and other gods. Saturn is a god, and that's where Saturday comes from, the god of Saturn.
Like the planet.
Yeah. And even the months are named after gods and goddesses. It was a Roman calendar. Look it up.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, so anyhow, pumpkins and turnips were hollowed out and candles were placed inside to scare off the evil spirits from the houses.
I want to do turnips this year. I'm gonna put hollowed out pumpkin faced turnips at my house.
That I want to see that. That'd be really cool.
Oh, I did Walking Dead snowmen the one year, and
did you really?
Used red Jello and made gnarly faces on them, and one was decapitated, and they were trying to eat them.
Nice.
Yeah,
I gotta see that.
I'll show you pictures at some point.
I gotta see that.
I took pictures.
And where am I? I lost my place.
You're in Halloween.
I know. I almost said something. People tried keeping the evil spirits and witches away by disguising themselves with terrifying costumes.
Yes, that's where costumes
so I guess
come from.
that is where, let's see here. Sometimes groups of farmers would go house to house collecting food. They would pronounce blessings upon cheerful givers and threats to those who gave little.
That's where tricks or treats came from.
Oh, how about that? Then it goes on to today. The costumes are worn by old and young alike to walk the streets at night pretending to be evil spirits themselves.
So they fit in and they don't get killed by the evil spirits.
Today, I like this. This is pretty good. Today, parents sacrifice their children to the gods by sending them from house to house to ask for treats on behalf of the dead.
Yes. Your children are going to hell because they go trick-or-treating.
I need to swear right now, but I can't, so I'm not going to comment.
I really need my van cleaned.
Nope. I'm just going to keep reading. The customs handed down in this pagan celebration called Halloween are still practiced in this world as fun and games.
Well, of course.
These are the abominations that God told us not to do.
Yes.
It says, God says that those who eat the sacrifices of the dead will not inherit his kingdom. So you mean if you eat a Snickers bar, you're not going to heaven?
Yeah, and you can't eat an eagle either, but you can eat a peacock.
Lord. And giraffe burgers.
Giraffe steaks, remember?
Steak, that's true.
That just sickened me to see that in a children's book. You could eat a giraffe steak.
That's
They're not
so
meant
sad.
to be eaten. They're meant to be looked at.
Giraffes are
and
beautiful.
admired. Yes.
Okay, so want to move on to birthdays?
Oh.
Or you have something?
Here's where, again, was my silent rebellion.
For Halloween?
No, for birthdays.
Oh, okay.
I would celebrate in my head and personally my children's birthdays. Because as a parent, I mean, that's one of your biggest things was the birth of your child. I mean, how could you not look at your kid and go, oh, wow, I've had you, I made you, and it's been a whole year. And I would secretly, kind of give them treats, or we'd go to Walmart and I let them both pick out a toy.
Right.
But it was really his birthday toy. Do you know what I mean?
Right, gotcha.
And when they were really young is when I would drive to another town and we'd go to Dairy Queen and we'd share one little sundae between the three of us. So, and that was my birthday celebration for my kids.
So you still celebrated it.
I did.
So there.
And my mother had God talk to her, and she baptized my children in the bathtub or the sink or whatever. I'm going to hear about this later after she... I did want to say that anybody who listens who used to be an ex-member, a lot of these times these people will call me, and I have details slightly wrong, or dates, or people. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I do apologize, but when I'm telling what happened and what went on, that's to the best of my ability.
Well, plus, and your perspective might be different than somebody else's, even though it was the same thing.
Right, and I've been out for a total of 15 years. So some of the things that happened were, 25 years ago.
Right.
So, I meant to do that in culty corrections and updates that I apologize to anybody if I get details and stuff wrong, but I am remembering it to the best of my ability. On to you.
On to me.
Oh, and birthdays. There's only one birthday mentioned in the Bible. You'll have to look it up and Google it or something. But I do believe it was John the Baptist, and he got beheaded on his birthday. And I don't remember why.
Well, that's fantastic.
I think the Pharaoh did it. I'm not sure.
That's fantastic. Well, on birthdays here, guess who they mention again?
Lucifer.
Nimrod.
Oh, yeah.
Nimrod. Let's see here. Apparently, people fell for Nimrod's lies, and they continue to do so today. People were taught that on the day of their birth, a god or a goddess was assigned to protect them and bring them success. So every year on the day of their birth, they had to offer sacrifices to their personal god.
Is that where cake and ice cream come from?
I don't know, but this...
Because I'm my own personal god, and I personally love cake and ice cream.
But it says this became the birthday celebration that is so common today.
Okay.
So there you go. Let's see here. Oh, the birthday parties, along with gifts and greetings, were originally intended to protect a person from evil and to ensure a great year to come.
Yes.
The candles were to wish on those. Wait, the candles were to wish. This is so written ridiculously.
Wish is a pagan word. It shouldn't be in there.
Well,
You're not
it's
allowed
also
to
saying
wish.
that it had to do with possessing magical qualities.
Right, you're not allowed to wish because wish is magic.
Brother.
You're not praying to God to help you. You are wishing.
Oh, and you're wishing. Yes, it says your wishes will be carried up to the gods by the flames of the candles. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and
blah,
that's
blah.
not the gods that you should be worshiping. So that's why you're not supposed to have candles because your wishes will go to the wrong gods.
Okay. Well, it says here that the scriptures do not show that God or any of the righteous men of old ever celebrated their birthdays.
No. But how did they know that Noah was 600 and some years old? Seriously.
He had birthdays.
We all have them, but...
But it says here, scripture shows that there is nothing wrong with the recording or recognizing of one's birth or the length of years he has lived. I guess you just can't have a party.
You could... I forgot about that. Like, if it was your birthday, Laura, I could walk up to you and say, I am so glad that God has given you, I don't even know how old you are, X amount of years on this planet and give you a hug.
You know how old I am. I'm old.
I got into an argument the other day with a friend of mine. She's a year older than me, and she kept trying to tell me that I was 47, and I'm going, no, I'm 48. And she says, Dad, I'm a year and a day older than you, and I'm 48. You're 47. You were born in 71. And I went...
That's as old as my brother. My brother was born in 71.
Right. So that makes me 47. And she's like, duh. So, yeah, I'm learning not to argue.
Okay. All right. So now we were going to talk about Passover, but we're at 45 minutes. Do you want to say?
Passover is a whole
episode?
Another dealio.
Okay.
There's a lot to it.
Okay, so we'll save that for another episode.
But I will tell you that Day of Atonement was my most...
Is that the same as
freaking
Passover?
hated.
Wait, is that the same as Passover? Or
No. For our Jewish followers, or if anybody knows about Yom Kippur...
Right.
That's when they're fasting from sundown to sundown.
Oh, okay.
But I think that the Jewish people do it differently. Anybody out there who's Jewish who might want to let me in on it?
Hey, go on Facebook.
Yeah, start a conversation.
That's right.
Passover was the direct opposite. I hated Day of Atonement. But Passover
was fun.
It was, not only was it fun, but everybody's drinking wine. Everybody. And it was, for people who like to get drunk, it was pretty much an excuse that you could get drunk. Well, not fall down, slurring your words, but you could get a good buzz.
Right.
And trust me, I drank 2 bottles usually at dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And of course, the children, depending on the parents, would, like my kids, I would give them their own little tiny wine glasses and let them sip.
Oh, how cute.
Well, it was more of the fact of, okay, Mama's going to have a good buzz and I need you to go to sleep when this shindig's over at 11, because 11 o'clock is when the shofar blows. The shofar is the
ram's
big
horn. Right.
It's the ram's horn.
Okay.
And 11 o'clock signifies that it's quiet time.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people leave before 11, but there's a lot of us that stick around to party after the actual ceremony and stuff. And it was always so much fun because, like, you could tell that, like, it was fun.
It was fun.
We had a buzz. And
how could it not be fun?
If there were certain people that got Mogan David, which is basically Mogan David's a Passover. Mogan David's Passover wine.
Oh, all right.
There's special wine.
Of course there is.
And it's called Mogan David. You can buy it at the state store. I do not recommend it. And I think the alcohol content in it is so
really low.
Kind of like church wine when you go to Catholic.
Right. Okay.
There might be a tiny, like a 0.01% or something.
Right.
But I always got a different bottle of wine.
Gotcha.
So I don't like red wines. I like blushes and Zinfandels, and you have to cut it with cherry juice. Half wine, half cherry juice.
Ooh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can try that.
Can you imagine me with a cup this size full of wine, drinking like I drink?
Oh, not like you drink.
Okay, now imagine... no, look, you make me out to be... Oh, I almost swore at you. You were trying to bait me.
I was.
But a cup this size, you put in that much wine and cut it with cherry juice.
Gotcha.
And
Because otherwise,
it makes it as potent as that beer.
Gotcha.
Because most wine is like 12% alcohol, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna drink down 16 ounces in an hour, and you'd be like, I'd be sleeping on your couch.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly. So, do you want to do Passover next episode?
Not particularly. We missed Passover during our break.
Okay.
But I think we should
idea?
do Passover when it's the next Passover.
What do you want to do next week?
I don't.
Or do you just want it to be a surprise for everybody?
I think me and you kind of need to put our heads together and kind of, because see, usually when you pick a subject like food or counseling or whatnot.
So you don't like how I do it?
No, I love how you do it.
I'm joking.
But when you pick the subject,
okay,
you're working on the technical aspect of looking through the propaganda, and the literature, photographs, and other things like that. I spend my week with my black homework book that I had a heart attack. Remember, I walked in your house.
You thought you left it at home.
I thought I left it at home, and I was writing something in it for the show tonight in the car while I was driving. Please don't do that, people. It's dangerous. Anyway, I didn't slide it back into its bag, and when I brought my bag in, that's why I had the heart attack. So, but this works really well for us. We'll figure out. Oh, and I did want to quote Doctor Who because, see, I love Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Number 10.
Well, wait a minute. Which one's the one I like? Okay,
David Tennant.
Yes, that's my
number 10.
favorite.
Number 10.
Oh gosh, do I love him? And I think the quote is from him.
Okay,
I'll hug anyone. I watched it the other night. I don't remember who
that was from, but
it was. I think it was him because it was on.
Oh, he can hug me anytime.
That's when I have 1 through 9 seasons.
Did you know that he is married to one of the other doctors from like way back in the 60s and 70s to his daughter?
No way.
He is. She was a guest on one of the episodes. That's how they met, I guess. But he is married to another doctor's daughter.
Well, I think David Tennant is my favorite doctor only for the fact of I didn't watch the ones before it. I started in on that, and then after like the 5th or 6th episode, I said, well, I want to start at the beginning. Well, I didn't realize it was a different doctor.
Oh, each one, yeah.
And when we started it again, when we started on, because we're not in the 60s, we're whatever the episode.
I have
now.
DVDs of the very first.
Oh gosh, I looked for them. Oh, we'll talk about this later.
Okay.
Anyway, the original one on episode or season 1 of the new stuff, and I was
Christopher,
watching,
what's his name? Eccleston.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But when it changed into David Tennant, I was like, oh, yes.
Yes.
And then I cried. I cried when they took him away from me and they made a new doctor. I went, no.
Oh, he was good too, though.
No,
Can't think of his name. Why can I not think of his name? But he was good too. I liked him.
Who?
Not as much as David Tennant.
There's been a few that I've liked.
Matt Smith.
I
Smith
couldn't name anybody but David Tennant, but people have told me he must be my favorite doctor because he was the first one I watched.
Right.
So I imprinted on him as this is who it should be. But he's pretty damn good looking.
He's really good looking.
He's good looking.
He is really good looking.
Yes.
But, okay. So now we actually have a promo that we're going to tack on to the end of this.
Okay.
This is for a podcast called Wives' Tales. And first of all, ladies, I love your intro music. Very cool. You got to listen to this.
Okay, I'll listen to it as soon as we get done.
For Wives' Tales, it says, we are just 2 quirky cousins, Shelby and Jenny, that are into weird, dark, and twisted stuff. Join our podcast about all things mystery.
Aren't we all into weird, dark, and twisted stuff?
We got to listen to this.
Okay.
And intro music, really cool. The last episode I listened to was called Sloths and Moths.
Nice.
Very nice. And there was some really funny and some really creepy stuff in that episode. So everyone, go give them a listen. Called Wives' Tales. They are on Twitter at Wives' Tales Pod.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Sloths move, I think, at like 6 feet a day, okay? How did the sloths get all the way to Noah's Ark and climb
here we
upon
go.
that
That
boat? Come on.
I don't know.
They're sloths. They move like 6 feet a day.
Know.
They sleep 23 hours a day.
How great would that be?
What?
Sleep 23 hours a day.
I don't like just getting old stuff. I couldn't wait until my kids were grown and out of school and I could sleep late because I work for myself.
Right.
And Laura, this morning, my eyes popped open at 5:30 and I screamed, no! And I rolled over and went to sleep for another half an hour, and that was
There
about
you go.
it. That was about it. Anyway, I guess neither one of us won the bet.
I cannot believe it.
And do you believe we went almost a whole nother hour without taking a break?
And without swearing. That's just blowing my mind.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, Mom.
See how much we love you guys.
Because the next episode won't be like this.
No. Are we going to title this one the non-swearing episode? Debbie doesn't swear.
We actually didn't swear.
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
And that's why I told you after we did the intro, I immediately had to speak first.
That's true.
You didn't say a single swear word.
And how about we just end it right now before one of us does?
All I want to say is, we need some help with the website. Sabrina, can you get a hold of us? Haven't heard from you in a while.
Hope you're okay.
Shout out to you. Hopefully your life is just really busy and you're having fun and stuff. Stay sexy and don't get murdered. And
yeah.
At least she's not a guy getting stalked by the Pittsburgh, serial killer.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
If you're in a bad situation, if the best you can do is go to a police station and ask for help, get out, please.
Ask somebody for help.
Somebody, even it's your friend, anything.
Yes.
So, until next time, guys, be as amazed as we are that we didn't swear. And
I know.
We did it all in one take again.
Yes.
High five.
High five.
All right, guys, we'll talk at you all next time.
Okay, I'm Laura.
And I'm Debbie.
Okay.
This was I Got the Hell Out. You get out, too.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye.
Hey guys.
Hey y'all.
I'm Shelby.
I'm Jenny.
And we are Wives' Tales.
Yeah, we're a weekly podcast all about dark mysteries, twisted legends, spooky folklore, and creepy creatures.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can find us anywhere podcasts are played pretty much.
Yeah.
Y'all keep it twisty.
That's right. Bye.